Greetings and salutations. So in this video, we're going to talk about lockable pins and chests, like combinations or locks. So here, even on the PvP server, if I come up to this and I can interact with it, right? Anybody, if I was on a PvP server, anybody could interact with this. And if I set a combination to this, what it does is it kind of opens up. Same thing, like if I had a campfire or a chest out here, I could put a chest out here and I could put a combination on it. And by doing so, what it would do is it would allow like allied members to be able to run over here, access the combination, maybe put something into the chest, which would uh, drive some kind of trading mechanism, and this kind of video is really meant to be around adding the ability for a combination to pins and chests and refrigerators. But see right here, I got this right here. If I could have a combo on this, and I was thinking the best way to do this is, how when you create like an attachment for a truncheon. Well, if you could create an attachment that looked like a key, right? And if you drag that key over to the chest while it was on the inventory, you could add the ability to add a combination to that chest, right? And even maybe when you access the chest, instead of just opening up the inventory, it would have some kind of relic-looking tumbler system, and you just had like maybe it had three sequences. You can say like you roll the tumbler to 7, you roll this one, and they could be symbols even. They don't even have to be numbers. So you could roll, and they could be the symbols that relate to the gods. So you roll the symbol to Brill, and then you roll the symbol to Ymir, and then you roll the symbol to Crom, and then that gets you into the chest. And you just do it the same way, where you take the key and you drop it on the chest that's in the inventory, or the pin that's in the inventory, and it creates a combination. But you have to do it on some of these items before you place it, and that's how you get a combination. Like, so you'd actually have to commit to that before you place this down, because once you place this down without a combo on it, it would be forever. It'd be forever without a combo. But that would drive a reason to recreate a pin, replace a pin. That also, cause you to pick up your chest, place the pin back on your the key back on your chest, and then replace your chest. That it forced people to kind of clean up, organize, and it would drive kind of more dynamic gameplay. Plus, I would also love to see a merchant thrall. And I know this is a little bit of a segue from um, a little bit of a segue. So if you took your bear, and if I were, let's say hypothetically, this was a bear, and if I interacted with it, um, and it had its inventory. Well, let's say it had a secondary inventory underneath, and whatever I dragged to that secondary inventory, um, I could set a price for it. And then so if somebody came up to my thrall and they just press E, if I just pressed E, it would just show those items in that inventory, and they could buy those items out of that inventory. Like it was so the thrall could be the merchant thrall, and they could look at it, and they could mouse over it. So if this was in here, right, they could mouse, or if this was in here, they could mouse over it, and they could see the stats. And they're like, "Oh, that's 78, okay." And then they could click buy right here. They could click buy, and if it was in this bottom section right here, and so that way you could turn your thralls into a merchant section, and then that way you could kind of create a sub economy. Because let's say someone, like, they really like to farm dragon hide or dragon bone, or they're making some kind of special potion, and they got their little thing. That's what they love to do. So they could set up a merchant, and build a little merchant stand, and then somebody could run up and they could look through the inventories and like, oh, I want one of those right there. And then they would have to go farm a bunch of silver to buy, whatever special wrap that they've killed 1,000 dragons to get some special recipe. And and that really adds relevance to the currency system, and it also creates a secondary asset as a thrall merchant. So you have your bears and you have your merchants, and then the merchants would really drive, and if I just pressed E and I clicked on the item, now if I liked it, I could, it would say the price right in here, and I could just say buy, and it'd all be right here in this tab. I wouldn't be able to drag it over if it didn't belong to me, but it would, but it had to be in this secondary box that was, this secondary set of brackets down here. As always, thanks for watching.